Hey guys, what's up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and I also want to give away $50 worth of crypto. All that you have to do to enter is press the like button on this video, comment something down below, and have the notification bell on, and then if we actually hit 300 likes within 24 hours, we're giving it away, so make sure you go ahead and do it all right now. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel called Dusty Finance. It's a pretty cool place. A couple of really cool videos on here. Make sure you check those out. And make sure you check out the Facebook group in the description down below. It's a cool trader group. So here's a poll about Ripple and XRP. And I must warn you guys, it's a pretty interesting one. A poll, 83% believe XRP will be at $2 to $5 trillion in market cap by 2025. Is the projection possible? And again, this is such an interesting question. There must be many people wondering this because, of course, we're not even talking about 1 trillion. We're talking about 2 to 5. Yeah, we're pretty far away. BTC is 1/5 of the way there, or 1/5 of 1 trillion. But XRP, yeah, they're 1/80th of the total way. So yeah, they're definitely not close. But why do people think it then? Well, Bitcoin has been the top crypto since its creation. It has the largest market cap, the highest price value so far, and is actually the most popular. However, not everyone sees Bitcoin as the leading cryptocurrency. Neither do they see it as one of the brightest future, or do they see it as like the most capable or whatever. They see Bitcoin in a lot of bad ways. This was actually revealed in another Twitter poll as well by Robert Art, in which XRP and Bitcoin were compared. To put it into perspective, by 2025, this coin will be at $2 to $5 trillion in market cap. He put XRP, BTC, and other in the poll, and XRP won by 83%. Again, this is actually not something you should take as, a very good representation of the world or what people really think in the investment space, as Twitter is definitely ruled by, I would say, Bitcoin maximalists and XRP enthusiasts, but really, with these kind of polls, 9 out of 10 times XRP will win. Again, it's just really close community, really well bonded, and in this case, they most of the time just win. It's really like that. Again, it really just is like that, and you can try whatever you want, but XRP really has Twitter in its thumb. Other was also an option on the Twitter user, and the Twitter user Robert Reckford asked which of the three would have that market cap, and again, only 13 voted for Bitcoin and 4 for other. Now, if we actually look back and look at it from a historical perspective, is it possible? Well, XRP's performance thus far. XRP is currently the third largest crypto market cap. It has been second before, we know that. Its market cap is currently just over 12 billion. Although a good number of the top 10 cryptos are currently on the gaining side, XRP has just lost over 3%. Right now, just minus 1% though for XRP. While again, some of the top rivals have actually gained a couple of percentages. Again, that's also quite far down now again. This is just the current performance of the asset though, but it was also reported as the worst performing crypto among the top 10 in the first half of 2019. I've been seeing that for a very long while now, that XRP has just been deemed worse after worse after worse for quite a little while. But again, I don't see that as a really big issue, as, again guys, as long as we know the real value, it doesn't matter what some of these haters think. At the end of June, XRP had depreciated by a meager 12.45% from the opening price of 35 cents in January to the closing price of 39 cents in June. It's only a small little gain, while the rest of these coins actually did hit a lot higher percentages. Bitcoin, which had only 13% of respondents expecting it to hit a market cap of 2 to 5 trillion, gained nearly 190% in that same time period. And in fact, XRP's performance was closest to TRX, which gained 69%, over 5 times of its own. Yeah, that's really definitely quite crazy. So now, is this projection possible? Well, some Twitter users commented on the poll. One of them was Garlinghausen's one. He said a market cap of 2 to 5 trillion will place the XRP price at about $40 to $100, which he said is unrealistic. This $2 to $5 trillion market cap puts XRP at $40 to $100. That's likely too high, he wrote. Also, that will mean a price gain of over 1,000 times in the next 6 years, which will only be possible if XRP continues its price gain at the current pace over the next 6 years. The market is quite unpredictable, and things could get even better. But where will Bitcoin be if XRP actually hits 2 to 5 trillion in the market cap valuation? And that is where the most important part of this all plays out, is what do you think does happen to BTC within this time? So if you think XRP is going to get to 2 to 5 trillion, that's completely fine. I mean, $40 to $100, let's start with 40 then, or even 20 at $1 trillion. You can definitely believe that, as I can definitely believe in it as well, and I do think it might happen. The question is, though, do you think that XRP is going to be number one by that time, or do you think it will still be BTC at the top, and do you think BTC will be at, let's say, 3 trillion when XRP is at 1? Or what do you think the situation is at that point? That's, again, a very important distinction to make right there, because it's all going to depend on what BTC does. Again, for a big catalyst to come up in this space, I think BTC needs to take the first one. BTC is going to really drag a lot of these cryptocurrencies out there. But really, what I'm also seeing and what I'm expecting is that XRP can take BTC over within some time. I mean, hypothetically speaking, it could, even though there's no necessity for it and there's no indication that they will. They could, hypothetically speaking, as they're really useful, and again, they're quite good in what they do. I have a couple of theories why I don't think they will. First of all, I do not think that people hold XRP as heavily ever as they do with BTC. And as we saw before, and as we've been seeing time upon time upon time, people are comparing Bitcoin and gold. So they're saying, all right, gold was the best store of value for a long time. BTC is now a very good store of value. And again, that's also when the Chinese yuan depreciated. People said, all right, we're going to buy Bitcoin because it's now the new safe haven for our money. And it goes back and forward about what is better, gold or crypto. Is crypto worth it? Can it be trusted? Is gold worth it? Is gold trusted? Since, again, they can be manipulated. There's all sorts of these questions coming around. But one thing is certain, people hold BTC as a store of value, and there's not a small amount of people doing that. With XRP, there's literally no good reason to hold those coins, though. If you think about it realistically, there's not really a good reason for XRP to hold them, except for these small-term, long-term, even longer or shorter-term time frames where we are expecting price gains due to adoption and due to, for example, the use of Spring or XRapid, or really just Ripple pushing them, whatever. We're hoping for the price to appreciate, but really, in the literal sense, there's no big use in holding the token like there is with Bitcoin. Even with Ethereum, there could actually be a couple of benefits to holding the coins. And with XRP, one of the benefits I could see is just you always have money around. I mean, it's so quick and easy to send. But yeah, some people will say, like, hey, you can also just have fiat and then exchange to XRP whenever you really need to send it somewhere or things like that. It's just how you see it. I just know for a fact that XRP is a little bit less of a necessity to hodl. And that's also why I think that it will take a very long time, if ever, for XRP to beat BTC. But again, that's just my opinion on that. Ripple's XRP is a scam, Bitcoin analyst admits lawsuit row. I actually want to, get deeper into this a couple of days from now, because I've been reading up on a lot of these lawsuits, and I really want to give you guys a very good overview of every lawsuit we've seen, how it's all coming together, what's all going on. But here, Ripple's XRP has been receiving a lot of accusations recently. Not too long back, an amended complaint against Ripple was filed with the SEC, claiming Ripple illegally sold unregistered securities and are setting up an ugly showdown between the company and its investors. To add more fuel, Tone Vays, Bitcoin supporter and cryptocurrency analyst, has weighed in on the lawsuit, branding Ripple's XRP as a scam and warning everyone that SEC will bring Thor's hammer down on the company. He said, "The SEC is bringing Thor's hammer. Come at me, XRP army. You scam coin, or your scam coin should never have existed," Vays said in a recent tweet. Vays also plans to get more into the issue in the next episode of his podcast, Bitcoin Law Review. And again, it's really quite interesting how this is going to go down. I'm quite enthusiastic about this. I'm quite stoked, because there could be a lot of different things he's going to be saying. One thing is for sure, there's going to be a lot of people very angry about this statement. Yeah, and how will Ripple respond? It's, again, kind of a vague system. Again, Ripple does not have to respond in any way. At least I don't see any direction that they have to respond, and they can literally do whatever they want as long as they have a good plan surrounding it. But I definitely am convinced that Ripple, as big as it is, will find out the best answer they could possibly give, and they give that. I don't think they will make any mistakes in letting out a statement. Bitcoin price analysis, BTC rally set for $12,000 next. That was fireworks. I don't know if you guys heard that. Bitcoin price analysis, BTC rally set for $12,000 next week. Again, that's pretty interesting. People are expecting BTC to get another little run, and what happens if BTC goes on another little run is it's actually possible for some of these coins to finally do a little bit better on the BTC or on the BTC variants of the pairs. So, for example, XRP to BTC, Ethereum to BTC, yada yada yada. Why I'm saying that is for right now, we've just been kind of in a grayish area, kind of red gray, because we've mostly been following or doing slightly worse than BTC for a little while here, but really, it's something we want to change, right? And I think if BTC does go into 12,000, it will finally give these alts a little bit of a spark to just lighten up a little bit. And again, if BTC goes up by another 10, maybe 20%, it could be that some of these alts go up, let's say a little bit, like maybe 25, maybe 30, maybe 40%. At least that's what we're looking at, because we've, again, been in this zone for BTC. So many people are predicting it to be in a downtrend now. And another little bullish run or run up could again showcase some of these altcoin supporters that, hey, there's still some momentum left. Altcoins are not done for. Bitcoin hash rate hits all-time high. Again, this is also quite interesting, I found. So, as the Bitcoin rally continues, it seems that the hash rate for the cryptocurrency has hit an all-time high. On August 19th, the crypto market cap leader's hash rate has continued to smash previous records throughout summer, and today hit an amazing 82.5 terahashes. Top crypto commenter Kaiser has commented saying, "The hash rate of cryptocurrency, sometimes referred to as the hashing or computing power, is a parameter that gives a measure of the number of calculations that a given network can perform each single second." A higher hash rate means greater competition among miners to validate for new blocks, and it also increases the amount of resources needed for performing a 51% attack, making the network more secure in that sense. And again, it also makes it a lot more expensive for a 51% attack to occur. Because again, as we have concluded before, there's nothing stopping people from doing a 51% attack on Bitcoin except for tons of money. And as we also established before, is that, for example, the Chinese government could take Bitcoin down right now by shorting it heavily and then going on with their 51% attack, because they'll get a lot of their money back by shorting at the same time. And maybe with some leverage there, we could have something really crazy going on. But it's really something you don't want to support too much. And again, that's also one of the reasons why we do like XRP quite a lot, because it is not as open to some of these issues, as I still see some people thinking that, but no, they're not, if you're worried about that situation. Remember though that Bitcoin's halving event remains some time away. In May 2020, this is a pre-coded 50% reduction of block rewards for miners, and this is when the reward for the miners is dropped by 50%. Again, it's pretty obvious, it's kind of a double up right here, but it's something I just have to mention sometime again and again so you don't forget. Cryptocurrency in focus, Ripple. XRP recently strengthened its hand through a major deal with the money order giant MoneyGram. I thought I should just quickly mention it once more again, how huge and how much of an impact MoneyGram x Ripple has actually had on the world. For one, it has come into minor, because I'm going to add that, minor mainstream media. So what I'm trying to say with that is, in general, Ripple does not get too much out there in normal media, as again, they're just not published that much. But with the MoneyGram deal, they got into some of the smaller, yet really quite important still, I don't know if you can call it a magazine, as it is mostly online, but some of the more important sites out there, at least they got there, right? And what I'm noticing is now that MoneyGram is here, we're actually starting to become more open towards, something like, for example, Western Union and all those options. Even though we know some of these partners have already been testing Ripple for a very long time, we know that they're now just a little bit more open and they have a higher likelihood of also joining in. It gives us some hope for the future, and it gives us a little boost in confidence over a longer space of time. And again, this is an article that I actually could cover in a little bit more greater detail in the future as well. Just want to quickly mention some of the articles that I had. Ripple's XRP branded as a scam by Bitcoin analyst as lawsuit row intensifies. Again, we just mostly covered that already, so I don't think we need to get into it too much right there. And Ripple price forecast, XRP may break out as a newly symmetrical triangle forms. A look at the XRP to USD pair suggests a medium-term bearish trend. Ripple XRP may rise back if the RSI 50 can bolster as support. That's again if you're talking about price, but hey, this is not financial advice. Hey, if you talk about price, this is not financial advice. That was kind of funny. Thank you guys all for watching this video though. Hopefully you did enjoy, hopefully you learned something new. If I'm not talking too enthusiastically, there's something going on, make sure you check out my Twitter, guys. I explained a little bit of a story right there. There's no need to put this out on the YouTubes, but thank you all for understanding. Thank you all for all the support, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very nice day. Make sure you check out Dusty Finance. Make sure you check out all the links in the description, and I'll see you guys again in another one.